Okay, a success story coming at you with Miss Margaret. She lives in Nashville, so we can do this from anywhere, girls. But Margaret came to me. She's a busy mama. She's working a full-time job. She has dreams and she goes for them. But she was just not feeling like herself, and I'll let her tell you. But she has just knocked it out of the water with her goals and is feeling so much better. So let's go back to when we first started talking, Margaret. And what was it that you were feeling? What were you feeling? What were you frustrated with? And what brought us together?
Great. And thanks for having me, Kim.
Yes.
Um, what brought me to connect with you was just feeling like I was getting through my life and just getting through the day. I just got to get through this week. I just got to get through this trip. I got to get through this month,
Mm.
this season, whatever it was. I just felt like I was not in control of my plans. I wasn't in control of um, my health, and I just felt like things were barely keeping afloat.
Mhm.
And of course, with that, you tend to have the best plan of what your best day looks like. But the things that would always get pushed to the back burner for me to keep delivering at work and in mom life and all the other balls you keep in the air was always me.
Mhm.
So I feel like I've just, for snowballing for years, have just been like, you put that on your calendar, and then that's the first thing to go when a meeting pops up, or like today, a kid's homesick.
Right,
Um, so
right.
yeah, that I feel like that's where I was, and where I was like, okay, we gotta get serious about this.
Right. And I feel like that's such a relatable story. I myself am a busy mom, and so many of the women that are going to be listening to this are busy women juggling so many things. And like you said, activities and a job, and now a kiddo homesick. I mean, it's just the way it is. And it's like, oh, I'll get to that later. I'll get to that later. I'll get to that later. But you had enough
Right.
and you decided, you know what, now's the time. So fast forward, you said, yes, we've started, we put a plan in place for you. Tell me what has happened on your journey. Give us a little bit about how this has played out and what this has looked like for you over the last 12 weeks.
Sure, that's hard to even sum up. I
I
do
know.
feel that for years we all go back to our, well, I shouldn't say we all, a lot of the women I talk to, and I'm
Yes.
sure the ones you do too, Kim, go to that one crash thing that we do to get ready for a trip or to fit in the thing. And I just was so sick of not having something like consistent that I can rely on, that isn't making those little justifications week to week. Like, oh, but this is high protein. Oh, but this
Mhm.
is low carb. Oh, this is low calorie. Like, I was so confused.
Yeah.
And with the confusion led to a lot of justification of
Mhm.
like, oh, but like I'm still in a calorie deficit, or oh, this is
Right.
keto. I just was confusing myself and sabotaging myself in the process, I think.
Mhm.
So I
Mhm.
think when it comes to the transformation I've seen, I've just really loved the boring and I say that because having a plan that isn't it isn't hard once
It's-
you read the materials and take your coaching.
Yeah.
I just think that when I look at myself now, it's just super straightforward. It takes like the guessing out of what plan am I on today.
Amazing. Yes, it can be so confusing. And like you said, oh, because of this or the hack that I used and that, and it just gets, and you're like, enough. I just want something that works. I want to nourish and heal my body. I want something that works for my age with my busy lifestyle. And that is exactly what you've done. You've showed up every week for coaching. You've followed the plan we put in place for you, and you have gotten amazing results. And let me just throw this out there. Margaret has done a couple of business trips and a trip to Italy with her husband and still is able to succeed. So let's talk about the results that you've seen, but maybe also after that, we'll chat about how you can do this while traveling. So,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes, great. Well, my starting point is a little uncertain because that's who I was then. I was actually scared to even put the battery back in my scale. So I'm
Mhm.
always a little ambiguous with the number of pounds I've lost, but
Yeah.
I'm pretty certain I am down almost 20 pounds in probably 10 weeks.
Wow.
So I'm just so thrilled when Kim told me that I was going to be able to lose 10% of my body weight in this amount of time without it feeling like punishment, without it feeling
Yeah.
um, just hard on myself.
Mhm.
Um, I just I believed in you, I believed in me, but I was still shocked at that concept.
Mm. Yeah.
And I've done it with time to spare. I mean, we blew through the first 15 pounds and into right about 20.
Mhm.
Again, from my rough calculation,
Yes.
I'm definitely down 2 pant sizes.
Oh,
So that's felt really good. Last night I had a little shopping spree for an upcoming work trip because my work pants don't fit anymore, which is just like a great feeling too. So
great. So much
yeah.
confidence. That's amazing. Yes, like you said, your body just responded really well. But you
Mhm.
were also ready and you believed in it. You believed in the system, you believed in what I was telling you, and you were just so ready. And I think there's, a huge testament to just being ready and willing. And that's exactly what you were. So, um, I love that you say this, it wasn't hard. It was easy. You didn't feel like it was a diet. How was traveling? How was that? Maybe like how was traveling before you did something like this and then the mindset shift of traveling now?
Ooh, yeah. So of course, we all have our triggers, right? And business travel and vacation travel for that matter has always been one for me of, again, just getting by, just getting through it.
Yeah.
And we fall into those habits. So um, one of my favorite things, I hope I'm not giving any spoilers, but one
No,
of my
you're good.
favorite things about the VIP weight loss system that Kim has accounted for is the prep week.
Yeah.
So I think what really set me up for success, because of course we can have these great intentions and we try to be perfect on day one,
Hmm.
and that's just not realistic. You have to get the stuff. You do the prep, you do the work, you have the support system, even your family. It's a little bit of a
Yeah.
an adjustment into the person you're trying to grow into. And I loved that because one of my first weeks, my first actual week on the program was a travel week. But
Yeah.
since I'd done that prep of at least learning about my hydration and like the what my routine should look like,
Hmm.
what my intake should look like, I started to at least learn through that time frame instead of trying to be perfect on day one. So I think that was key for starters.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Dropping the all or nothing mentality, knowing that this isn't just another diet and you have to be 100% on or it's
Mhm.
not going to work for you. Yeah. Hmm.
Right.
Beautiful. Yeah.
As for business travel, though, I think the plan is not all or nothing as well. Like, I think as long as one of my favorite things that Kim tells us to do is really to write down what your perfect day looks like and not just your perfect day on vacation, which I guess we can talk about next because that was
Yeah.
really fun.
Yeah.
But I think writing down, like, there's a lady in our community who like Thursdays are her soccer day for her soccer tournaments or
Yeah.
whatnot. Like,
Yep.
what does like a good day look like for you so you can at
Yes.
least see that on paper?
Yes. Yeah. Visualize it ahead of time, having that ideal. What ideally would this day look like? And writing that down and visualizing that. And you did that for your work trip. And then you took a trip with your husband and you were nervous. You were
Yeah.
nervous. We talked, we came up with a travel plan. You were able to do an ideal day and you were able to totally enjoy yourself, right?
Yeah, exactly. So it was very scary, like so gratifying, but very scary at the same time. I hit my goal weight the day I left.
Yeah.
So within a pound, we'll say.
Yeah.
And so that was very scary because I'd come so far and going to Italy, you just have this vision when you book the trip before on this program of
Mhm.
all the things. And I think I learned a lot about really in myself of like what I want, not to be too deep, but like out of life. Like
Right.
you really just you're going on this trip to decompress, to reconnect,
Mhm.
to get some steps in and to enjoy some amazing food and wine or whatever you're into.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
I think that it was really cool to see that it's sustainable to still enjoy that and
Yes.
it's not punish yourself by
Yeah.
um abstaining completely from the things that you've always loved.
Amazing. And coming back feeling good and confident and ordering new clothes because you can.
I was
Amazing.
shocked when I came back from 9 nights, 8 nights in Italy, but 9 nights traveling and had maintained my
Yeah.
weight. So that was just I was completely shocked by that, but pleasantly surprised.
Amazing. Well, you've done the work, you've asked the questions, you've shown up. And Margaret, do you feel like this is a lifestyle, that this is something that you can carry with you for many, many years to come?
Oh, absolutely. I'm loving uh like the cornerstones of what I've learned.
Hmm.
Because this isn't a fad. Kim tells our network, our community of people that get to come together who are really bonding through the program.
Yes.
She tells us that like you're never done, when we reach our goals, like it's all about like a better you and how we can continue to aspire to grow and such. So um never done, but at the same time, I totally think it's sustainable with like the information that I've learned and the foundation that I have now to like always not only just like come back to this, but to like have it ongoing. It's definitely something that I can maintain.
Amazing. Ah, such a beautiful story and such an honor to be in this space with you.
Thank you.
So thank you because I know so many women are going to relate to this story. And it's just so inspiring and encouraging. And knowing that it doesn't have to be hard. You just have to be willing and and to dive in because it's just going to take over otherwise. Mom's going to be pulled in this direction or work or what have you. Like you said, something else comes up. And so congrats to you for all the work you've done, and thank you for being in this space.
Thanks so much.